What's good, everybody? Andrea Renee here with an unboxing. That's right, I've got the DualSense Edge wireless controller from PlayStation. Thank you so much to Sony Interactive Entertainment for sending this over to me. Let's open the box and see what's inside, shall we? So this controller I've seen going around my feed, lots of people testing it out. It is essentially PlayStation's answer to the Xbox Pro controller. And if you can, well, I should say it's called the Elite, Xbox Elite. It's the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. Get the verbiage right, Andrea. All right, so this is the outside of the box. Very standard stuff here. Let's open it together, shall we? Oh, kind of anticlimactic. It's just a piece of white paper. Well, it's not white paper, actually. It is, in fact, a case. Very cool. So let's just put that box right back there. So this is the case that it comes in. It's got like a nice kind of papery cloth that it's in. I do appreciate that PlayStation has made a commitment to sustainability in their packaging for their products. So no styrofoam, no plastic wrap, all sustainable products that are either reusable, biodegradable, or otherwise recyclable in some way. All right, so this is the unit. This is really, can you guys hear that? It's a really nice hard case, so that's really going to protect this thing, which is good because it ain't cheap. So it says on the back, ultra customizable controls, mappable back buttons, DualSense wireless controller features built in, including haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, and our signature controller comfort. Replaceable stick modules, so you can play longer with swappable replacement stick modules sold separately. I could do infomercials. I did one a really long time ago for Gamefly, of all places. Gosh, you guys remember Gamefly? When you used to get game discs mailed to you? Man, what a dying breed, game discs. I miss physical media. Ah, there she is. Ugh, so pretty. Love that sleek white paint that, of course, matches PlayStation 5. Let's take it out of the case here. As you can see, it looks a lot like the DualSense controllers, but of course, this is the DualSense Edge, so it's got a couple extra bells and whistles. So you got the touchpad, which has been a staple since the PS4 days, and on the back here is really where you're going to start to see the differences. So you have these little sliders here, which help control how far down you press the triggers, which can really make a difference for some players. And then this is where you install the additional paddles. And then we also have these little toggles on the bottom here as well. So let's take a look at some of the things that come with inside the case, shall we? So inside the case, you have some additional joystick tops, and you've got your paddles, and then of course, this is the, what is this? Hold on. So it's technically called a connector housing, and what it essentially does is when you have your controller plugged in, it locks into place to hold the cable so it doesn't fall out or slip out or get tugged unnecessarily while you're playing, just in case, you know, you have to be connected, or if your battery is so low but you're in the middle of a big boss fight, or you're in the final circle of the battle royale, or whatever you're playing. So this is an interesting idea. I've actually never really seen one of these, but I could see where it could come in handy in certain situations. Let's take out some of these little doohickeys and try them on, shall we? So these paddles just popped right in. You can see them right here. They definitely have a nice clicky feel. And, you know, I've never been the kind of player that uses these paddles, but I feel like I could really up my game if I started actually utilizing some of this stuff. I just gotta get good, everybody. Time to get good. Also inside the case are these two half dome back buttons. So if you prefer to not have these big old wings, if you want something a little bit smaller, you can use these little paddles instead, which is a nice option. Cable, that's helpful because you're definitely gonna have to charge this puppy. So this release button, which is very difficult for me to show you, actually allows you to pop this faceplate right off. So you can see that it's got the nice shiny faceplate. I imagine there's going to be customizable ones of these that you can buy. And so now you've got the controller kind of like open here. So what that allows you to do is if you want to take one of these other tops for your joystick. So some people prefer to have them taller or shorter. Personally, I never really noticed the difference between when they're taller or shorter, but so what you can do is you essentially just pull off that one and then you replace it with the height of your personal desires. And then it just clips right in there. So as you can see, that one is slightly taller than the one that comes standard on the controller. And they have a couple of different heights here for you, so you can really customize that if you are wanting your joystick heights to be a specific way. Now this is really good for people who have different sized hands, who use different push motions, particularly people who are playing controller in fighting games. Like that really makes a difference, or shooters that have really precision controls. What that essentially does, it gives you a finer tunability over how you're playing the game. So to put the faceplate back on, you just push it down in there and it just clips right back in, just like that. Ready to go. So that is the DualSense Edge PlayStation 5 controller. I should mention that you also have the ability to save multiple control profiles, which is great because if you're going to be sharing this with someone, you obviously want to keep your own loadout separate and keep everything ready to go for when you're ready to play. And you could also tailor your settings to different styles of games. For example, if you're playing in a shooter versus playing in a fighting game, or playing in a strategy game versus something maybe a little bit more casual. If you want, what you can do then is, save different controller layouts, which is nice. So thank you to PlayStation for sending this over. I am going to plug this bad boy in and test it out, and I will give you guys a report on how I feel about it on What's Good Games. So make sure to check us out on your favorite podcast platform or at youtube.com/whatsgoodgames.